Smith will join the show. Ryan Clark stops by to discuss a close win by the Chiefs over the Bills. But we begin with the best thing I saw today on this Monday, featuring a couple of NFL games. Kyler Murray didn't have to complete many passes, only 9 on the night, but one of them goes to Christian Kirk. It's a kid that grew up in Texas to a kid that starred for the Aggies at Texas A&M. Didn't he have a monstrous game on this field, Steve?
Sure
Like against
like
Arkansas or something? That's elite speed right there. Murray loads it up, and you don't see guys run free like that in the NFL a whole lot. That made it 21-0, and the Cardinals were off to the races, and that was a race the Cowboys could not keep up in on this Monday night. That was Kirk's second of the game. Kyler Murray has been getting the job done with his arm and his legs all season long, collecting a passing and rushing touchdown in 5 of his 6. Did it again on Monday. That's the most by any player through 6 games in the history of the NFL. Among the group at 4, Cam Newton a couple of times, Donovan McNabb, and Dante Culpepper. Now time for our T-Mobile post-game coverage. Kyler Murray visiting with Lisa Salters.
Kyler, Coach Kingsbury told me at halftime that he thought that you might be a little hyped up to start the game, a little bit off, but when did things really start to click for you and to feel good?
Me personally, I felt like a little off all night. It wasn't, the butterflies for me weren't too much coming in. I felt good all day, but I think we left a lot of things out there tonight. But it was a great Monday night victory for us. Defense played well, offense played well. Can't ask for much more.
You completed 9 passes, and still the offense put up 38 points on the board. What does that say to you?
Yeah, a testament to the guys. Running backs ran well, offensive line blocked great. Receivers made plays. I got to be better, and I will be better.
You see these fans behind me. This has been Kyler's house. You are still undefeated here at AT&T Stadium. Just tell me, what does it mean to you to be back home, back in this building where you've already had so much success, and to get this Monday Night Football debut win under your belt?
It's special. I'm not going to lie. I tried to not make it about me all week because it's not about me. It's about my team. And we came out here, got the job done against a good Cowboys team. But like you said, coming back home, I think anybody wants to get a win when you come back home. So I'm happy we did.
And what'd you think about the way Budda Baker and the rest of that defense played for you, just keeping them out of the end zone for most of the game?
Yeah, they played great. They got a lot of weapons over there. For our defense to do what they did tonight, show up in prime time, is special.
Thank you, Kyler. Congrats on the win.
Appreciate it.
All right, so you saw one of the highlights that Kyler and his teammates authored, visiting Dallas on a Monday night. Andy Dalton getting the start with Dak Prescott now done for the year. There's some suggestion that maybe they wouldn't have to rely so much on Dak. It'd be more Zeke-centric. Not necessarily better, but they'd be fine. Well, no score. Under 3 to go first quarter. Dalton under pressure. Smart play gets it away to Zeke, but Budda Baker knocks it away. Budda also had a pick in this game. That's why I gave him all that money. Zeke had it, made a football move, put it on the ground, said he had to stop fumbling. That did not happen in this game. Ensuing Cards possession. 4th and 1, and good luck stopping this. The speed of Murray is elite. He gets to the corner. Cards drive continues. 2 plays later, 2nd and goal. You see they've scored on all 11 drives in goal-to-goal situations, and the Cowboys have stopped none. Both trends continued. That little flip forward counts as a touchdown pass to Christian Kirk, and it's 7-0. Ensuing Cowboys drive. Zeke, he's grasped it again. You don't like the long sleeve, Steve?
I do not.
Slips out, recovered by Byron Murphy. Phillips knocks it out of Elliott's hands. That's Elliott's 4th lost fumble of the season. He'd only lost 5 in the first 4 years of his career. Ensuing Cardinal possession, 1st and 10 from the 17. And that speed that you can see, and he's got a nose for the goal line. Did he get there? He did not. That sets up 1st and goal as Murray can't quite stretch it out and reach the goal line. Kenyon Drake Been a slow start to his season, but this was the beginning to a big night for him. 14-0. Again, the turnover is cashed in. Under 5 to go. Cards from their 20. Murray, clean pocket, loads it up, and there's Kirk running wide, and he's gone. Lead is 21-0. Now, Dallas has dug significant double-digit holes all season long, but Dak and that offense have been able to extricate them from it. Not going to happen in this game. Trailing 21-3, early third, first drive of the second half. Dalton, picked by Drake Kirkpatrick. Cowboys were furious. CeeDee Lamb, as you'll see when he cuts out of his break, that's a flag.
You think?
Well, I mean, they throw him on every play, and somehow they didn't on that one. And that's the third turnover of the game. Down there close, Kyler said, all right, you got that one, Kenyon. I'm getting this one. In a stadium where he had starred in high school and starred in the Big 12 with Oklahoma. Not your turn, 41, my turn. But late in this game, when the Cardinals ready to put this one to bed, after the Cowboys had finally gotten a touchdown on a drive that seemed to last forever, 3rd and 4, get a first down, end the game, or hand it to Kenyon Drake, who had just 314 on the season rushing. This 69-yarder, part of a 164-yard night on the ground. And the Cardinals have to leave Jerry Jones and that Cowboy team wondering, what do we do now? They go into Dallas and win in a gigantic way. We welcome in Louis Riddick, Brian Greasy, as we do every Monday night. And gentlemen, this is a distinct two-part series of questions. One has to do with the team that won, Arizona, and they live in, if not the best division in football, certainly the deep bad teams in the NFC West. Louis, where does this Cardinal team, in your estimation, fit in out west?
I think it fits in right there. Look, they're going to be right there all the way to the end. Why? Because I think tonight, Scott, they found their identity, and that is they want to be a hard-nosed, tough football team. They don't want it to be just a throwing football team. And look, Cliff Kingsbury made that point to us very definitively, and you saw it tonight with the way they ran the football and the way Kenyon Drake ran the football. So I think if they can do that and your starting quarterback can go 9 for 24, I think that what that's telling you is you're a pretty well-rounded football team, and you can compete with anyone.
I think on the defensive side, we learned something tonight from the Arizona Cardinals. Vance Joseph called a very aggressive game, which we didn't know how he was going to call it coming in with all the weapons that Dallas has on the offensive side. But if this defense, which was one of the worst in the NFL a year ago, if they can continue to improve, now I think Arizona might have something going on in the NFC West.
Brian, I'll stay with you and with Dallas. Look, Andy Dalton was a guy that was a capable starter for many years with Cincinnati. No, they weren't great, but they were a playoff team. And Dak goes down, and you've got a guy who's done it at least. And there were many that thought you could plug him in and it might look something like the Dallas offense had looked. Where does Dallas go after a performance like this?
You know, I can't put it all at the feet of Andy Dalton, Scott. I anticipated that he would come in and play better. He did not tonight. Now, there were a lot of factors that went into that.
Sure.
This team broke down because of the lack of leadership on the offensive side. They missed Dak more than they recognized. Ezekiel Elliott, you can't put the ball on the ground 2 times in the first half, and now you're down 21-0. Your best players, a.k.a. Zeke Elliott, have to play their best games, and they didn't tonight. Michael Gallup drops a touchdown. It was a collective effort from the Cowboys tonight. Where they go from here, Scott, it is not an easy answer because Tyron Smith's not walking back through the door. Lael Collins, Travis Frederick up front, they're not coming back. So on the offensive line, they'll get Zach Martin back, but they have to look at this film, and in particular, Kellen Moore has to find a way to get more production.
That pretty much sums it up, doesn't it? Because, look, there's not, you know what, it really is going to come down to leadership. And I know that sounds simplistic, but it's also the reality. Leadership from ownership, leadership from the coaching staff, leadership from the best players on this team, as Brian was referencing. That means Ezekiel Elliott. You have to say, look, I wasn't good enough tonight. I carry the fortunes of the franchise in my hands every time I run the ball. I laid it out there for the other team. So that's on me. Michael Gallup's had to say, I got to make those plays. Amari Cooper's got to say, I got to break a big one. CeeDee Lamb, all those guys have to make up for some of the shortcomings that they have, because if there's one thing every team is saying this year is this: we don't want to hear any excuses. And although their offensive line's been decimated and their defense has been poor, There's no excuse. You're in a weak division. Find a way to get it done. Because if you don't, you're going to be facing those same questions that really people ask of Dallas every year. What is going on down there? In the offseason, it's always Dallas has weapons. Dallas has all these guys that can score points. Dallas, 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 Dallas. And then they have a performance like this. Yeah. They got to figure out a way because there's no excuses this year.
Yeah, but they get the good news for them is they're in a lousy, lousy division. And fellas, it's not yet Halloween. And so we know that things can change. They always do. Some team will get better. I just ask you guys both, as you just take inventory of the NFC East, Lewis, and you can start, who do you think becomes that team that becomes better and wins this horrible division?
I don't know. But you know what? I'll take a
guess. That's a fine answer.
I'll take. You know, it's an honest answer, but I'll tell you this, just for the sake of like having a discussion. Who do I think can? Look, you have to give Philadelphia the benefit of the doubt because of the fact that they have a Super Bowl winning head coach. They still have their franchise quarterback who almost led them to a victory, and they still have some good pieces. Although they're getting hit with injuries too. That's where I would put my money. But it's not. I wouldn't.